Hi, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Rachel, and today I am doing my 38-week pregnancy update. I just recently did my 35 to 37 week, which went up a little bit later than I wanted it to, but that's okay. We got through it. We are through the sicknesses, and I am now 39 weeks pregnant and a few days. So I wanted to update you on what happened last week. So this will be just the week 38 on its own. And so I saw my midwife last Thursday. I was supposed to see her on Tuesday last week, but I had to postpone it because my daughter woke up sick. So we saw her on Thursday, and she had told me at week 37 that she was confident the baby was head down, but the only way to tell would be doing an either ultrasound or internal exam. I told her if she really wanted to, then we could do the internal exam. On Monday last week, my niece was granted an award from her university, so we went to Davis to go spend time with her and be there for the award ceremony, which was fun. Except for during the ceremony, I told you in previous vlogs that I had been experiencing some Braxton Hicks contractions, which is completely normal, especially this stage in the pregnancy. But this was my first experience this pregnancy with some real contractions. I didn't really realize it at first. So I was sitting there and I would feel like a lot of pressure and pain in my lower back. And after realizing, or after sitting there and experiencing this for a few minutes, I realized I think I'm having some real contractions. Now they're very spontaneous and really there's no rhyme or reason to them. So on Thursday when I met with my midwife, I did bring them up to her, and she said that's completely normal, especially since this is not my first. So she said sometimes the irregular contractions like that, where it's like one or two or three a day, those kind of contractions are usually sparked by the baby moving and hitting certain nerves in the uterus that will trigger a contraction. So that's what I was experiencing during the award ceremony, and I've had a few since, but nothing really major. There's no rhyme or reason to them. They just are really sporadic and have no rhythm to it. So I am not in labor. So on Thursday, after we talked and I let her know what I was experiencing, she did have me get on the exam table. She measured me. I'm measuring right on target. At the time, I was 38 weeks and about 5 days. After she measured me and found out that I was right on track for everything, for the amount of weeks that I am, she checked the baby's heartbeat, and I think it was in the 150s, around there, so normal for her and very healthy. And she's very active. My belly was doing all kinds of craziness during that exam. And she decided to feel, and she could feel her spine. She felt her legs, and she felt what she believed is her head, which is head down, which is good. So, but she really wanted to make sure that it was her head that she was feeling. And only because I am now 39 weeks. So if we waited until this week to find out, and she did an internal exam and realized that no, baby is not head down, it's going to be a lot harder to move her. So at that point, we still would have time and room to get her to move, and most importantly, time, because if she's breech, we need to know ASAP. We talked, and since I don't want to have to pay an arm and a leg to get an ultrasound, I just opted for the internal exam. So she was able to feel that she is head down. So very excited about that. I did drop a little bit, at least that I have noticed. It's not a ton. Like, I'm not going into labor anytime soon, I don't believe, unless things happen like crazy fast. But she has dropped a little bit because I have been relieved of a lot of pressure, and I can breathe a little bit better. So that has been nice. Sorry if you see Rennie in the back. I usually film in my room, but I decided to film out here because I had a bunch of stuff to do. So she did confirm that she is in fact head down, but she said when she was feeling around, she's like, she is sky high. So she's not engaged. She is not making her way down. So she's still pretty high. She actually had to push on my stomach to make sure, to get her down far enough to make sure that that was her head. So I have a feeling either we're gonna be right on time or she's gonna be a little late. So, which at this point I've experienced everything. My oldest was right on time. My middle was 2 days before her due date, so pretty much right on time. And my youngest was 8 days late. So if I go late, it's not like it's something I haven't experienced before, so whatever. I'm kind of over it. I'm not holding my breath because I don't want to be disappointed. So, but we have everything ready for her, so that's what matters. I did mention in my last pregnancy update that I was pretty sure on whether or not I was going to do the water birth. For those of you who have not tuned in before, I will link all my pregnancy videos, pregnancy updates below. But I am delivering this child at a birthing center, and one of the options is doing a water birth. And my midwife is actually trained in water births, so I have full confidence in her. But I still was unsure whether or not I wanted to do, I know I want to labor in the water, but I still wasn't sure if I wanted to actually give birth in the water. So, but I have decided, after talking with my husband and weighing all my options, I've decided that I do not want to give birth in the water. I do want to labor in the water, but I don't want to actually go through with the whole birth in the water. I'd much rather prefer to have her on dry land. At this stage, though, she is about the size of a leek, which is just over 19.5 inches and around 6.5 pounds. Again, these are just generalizations. She could be bigger, she could be smaller. I'm pretty sure she's going to be on the petite side. And another thing that I have decided to do after birth, I want to do the placenta encapsulation. I had wanted to do it with my last two, but because I had them in the hospital, I wasn't sure how that would work with asking for the placenta, and I know some hospitals are kind of different, so I never did it. But with this one, because it's at a birthing center, I asked my midwife, and she said, yeah, her partner actually, her business partner, they own the facility together. She actually does the placenta encapsulation, so it would be like super easy. So after birth, she would call her, and she would actually just come pick it up, do the placenta encapsulation, and they would send them to me. And I want to do that because with my third, I struggled a little bit with not postpartum depression, but like kind of like the baby blues. I didn't get full-on PPD, but I did get some baby blues, and I think it was because transitioning from 2 to 3, you've got 2 toddlers, an infant, and it's just overwhelming. And now I'll be transitioning from 3 children to 4. And I want to make sure that I do everything I can to kind of combat those baby blues. And I've heard that doing the placenta encapsulation actually really helps, and it helps with milk supply, which I do plan on breastfeeding. So there's a lot of benefits to it, so I figured I'm going to do it, and helping me recover a little bit faster. And one last symptom that I've really been experiencing this week, or this past week for 38 weeks, was like exhaustion. Oh my goodness, I feel like I could sleep all day and be completely fine and still wake up for a couple hours, eat, and then go back to sleep for the night. That's how I feel. I just constantly feel exhausted. I haven't gotten that energy burst that usually I would get in the 3rd trimester, which is kind of a bummer. That nesting really hasn't hit. I'm just forcing myself to stay as clean as possible. One, because I want her to come home to a clean home, and 2, we're still dealing with funky weather here in California. So when the weather is off like this, like last 2 weeks ago, it was like 80s, 70s and 80s, and beautiful and nice and warm outside. And then this past week has been raining like crazy. So it's just the weather doesn't know what it's doing. And when it's like that, my girls tend to get like little colds here and there. So it's like trying to combat all of those germs and all of that stuff. So I am cleaning and disinfecting like my life depends on it. And that is because I absolutely have to, not because I have that nesting urge to do it. So if I could, I would sleep. That's just what I want to do. I'm so tired. All I want to do is sleep. So that pretty much sums up everything on my end and baby's end. I will go ahead and show you a quick belly shot before I close out the video. So I hope you enjoyed this 38-week pregnancy update. I'm probably going to be filming a 39 and 40-week update at this rate because it doesn't look like she's coming anytime soon. So I hope you enjoyed. If you did, give this video a thumbs up. And if you are new, I'd love for you to stick around. So hit that red subscribe button and make sure your notification bell is turned on for more videos. We will see you in the next one. Bye.